Hello, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to use two brushes today and I'm going to be working with my triple decker. So if you are new to Saint, everything is customizable. All these tins are magnetic, so they pop in and they pop right out. When you are complete with one color, all you have to do is go back online and purchase what you need. So I am going to start with the blush and bronzer brush. I have a little bit of some acne scarring and today that I'm going to cover up. So I am going to use, let's find it, Aspen Contour. So if you don't have this in your compact, I highly recommend it. I'm going to use the smaller side of the blush and bronzer brush, just get some of that product on there. And I'm gonna lightly just go over some of these spots. You could also color correct these with a darker highlight color. So whatever your preference is, Aspen works really well when you have redness. So it really mutes the redness in your face. I don't have a ton of redness, but I also like the way that it does cover up acne. And I can always take my finger and really concentrate it on that spot. But my other four colors are also going to have coverage in them, so I'm not worried about getting them completely covered with Aspen. That's just gonna kind of do my base for me. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm going to use my buff brush. And I'm using Stone today. And I'm gonna get some of that on my brush. And I'm gonna start right on that cheekbone and kind of bring it up a little bit. And I'm just building this color up. And I'm not worried about going out of place because I can always cover it up. So I have those lines on my face. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same color, that contour, and put it on my forehead. And I'm just placing the colors right now, and I'm going to connect these lines. And then I'm gonna take whatever's left on my brush and just go down my jawline. Now, the way that I do my nose contour is I get my contour on my middle finger and I rub it together. And then I draw those lines on top of my nose with my fingers. And now we'll go back in a few and put our accent highlight in between those lines. And then just for a little bit of contour underneath the lip. Or still using the smaller side of the brush. Okay, so now that we have that there, I'm gonna flip to the bigger side of the brush and now I am scraping the bottom of my highlight color. I need to melt my tins. But I'm gonna take that color and put it underneath my contour. And this is where you can also kind of clean up your contour. So I always tell people, really don't stress about messing up or like being messy with your colors because you can always correct it. I'm gonna correct it right there. So you really don't have to worry about that. As long as you put the colors where they belong, you will be golden. And so already, even though we don't have any blending going on, or not much blending going on yet, you can already see the coverage that I have from this side of my face to this side of my face. So, and we're just going to go ahead and put our main highlight everywhere our contour isn't. And we'll blend everything shortly. It is optional whether you want to put your main highlight everywhere like I am doing. Because I was just going for a little bit fuller coverage today, plus I'm using the buff brush, which is going to be full coverage. I am putting it everywhere, but you can, there are areas that you don't have to place this, such as underneath your eyes, right on your chin, and between your brows. that case, so you will only have one layer of makeup, but it is all about preference. Okay. And when you're first starting with Saint, I tell people don't rush through it. Like, master your application so you can love this makeup, because if you just try to, you know, get through it really quickly, you may not love your application. So learn your application and then you will get super quick with it, because this makeup is very, very quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean my brush. Where's my cleaning towel? Okay, well, maybe I'm not. If you don't have a cleaning towel, I highly recommend it. They're super nice. I'm gonna have to just use a towel right here and wipe that off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go in with this color right here, which is Royal, and I'm gonna use the smaller side of my brush and just get a little bit and put it right on the apples of my cheeks and kind of take it up over my contour a little bit. Again, we will blend later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my accent highlight on. I am using Linen today, which is this one right here. And I'm sticking with the smaller side of my brush. And I'm putting it there, 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 and the teeniest bit right between my brows. Now, this is where you definitely want to make sure you have your cleaning towel, because you want to make sure there's nothing really on your brush because you're about to blend colors. So I'm blending the lighter color first. I'm kind of blending that lip contour at the same time. Nice and easy. I'm just going to make sure everything down here is blended. I'm going to go up here and really push this highlight color in. And I take it up to about my temple. Same thing to this side. And the same right here. Okay. So now that we have that on, we're gonna go ahead and blend this. And I always just put a little bit on first. And then once I'm done blending, I can add more if I want to. And I'm taking my contour and just kind of blending it up a little bit. Not taking it down. All right, now we're gonna do our contour. We're gonna blend this in so there are no harsh lines. Again, I used Stone contour. Now I'm just making sure that all this is blended. Make sure my contour lines are all good to go. I'm gonna blend out these lines on my nose just a teeny bit. And then I'm gonna go back to that Linen accent highlight and take a teeny bit right between those lines. And then I'm just gonna push that in. Now, I'm going to add a little bit, let's add something on the lips really quick. We're going to add, I will just use the same color that I used on my cheeks, which is that Royal. Okay, no idea what my phone did there. It completely cut me off. But on my lips, I used Royal, which is what I used on my cheeks. And I also went over it with a little bit of Frenchie. So Royal and then Frenchie. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of Bella bronzer, which is right here in my compact. I'm taking the bigger side of the blush and bronzer brush, getting some of that on there. And I'm just going to brush this on the outer corners of my forehead. And so the difference between contour, you see how it's giving me that warm glow? The difference between contour and bronzer is that bronzer is going to give you the warm summery glow and contour is going to give you the dimension. I'm lightly going to put it on the tops of my cheekbones. Kind of just brush it on there. You can also put it on your nose. And then I'm just gonna go back and just kind of make sure everything's blended. I'm at least glad the video saved. Wasn't sure if it was going to. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of Honey Illuminator, which is my favorite right now. I'm going to use the blush and bronzer brush. I'll get some of that on the smaller side and dab that on the tops of my cheeks. And again, I'm bringing that to about my temple. I promise you that once you figure out what application works best for you, because there are so many ways to do makeup as far as like what brush you're using. This makeup's so easy, you can do it with your fingers. I will have to upload a video to show you all that. But once you figure out what method you like best, you're gonna be golden. So again, Honey Illuminator. And now I'm gonna set my face. I'm going to use today, I'm just gonna use a little bit, just a little bit of Airspun. And I'm going to use the Perfector sponge, which if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. I'm gonna set my eyes. If you like that dewy look, I don't recommend going super heavy with your setting powder. Some sprays are really good to still, you know, give you that dewy finish. Airspun's super cheap. It does the job. If you like extra hold, what I do is I use our Stay Spray. I use our Stay Spray first, and then I will go over it with Airspun. So you would want to let this bake. So what that means is just leave it on your face for 3 to 5 minutes. I normally do my eyes last, so I let my makeup bake while I'm doing my eyes, and then I just wipe off any excess. But then I'm gonna go back to the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just gonna brush off any excess, and I'm going to brush it in the areas that I didn't set. So it's that easy.